Alone in the shadows, no one chose to be born in the shadow cities of Europa. Amara never remembered a day when she was anything but a survivor. Her earliest memories were of drifting through abandoned rail tunnels, cold light leaking in through. Cracks in the ice, the hum of old machines, always alone, always alert. People said you needed a gang, a badge, or a pulse rifle to last in the underworld. Amara survived with none of those. She had only her father's battered lighter, a half-charged data slate, and the memory of stories whispered in the dark. Every scrap of warmth mattered. Amara scrounged batteries, hacked old vending bots for food, and traded junk for news. Her mother had been lost in the methane floods. Her father vanished on a mining crew the city council never mentioned again. The lighter ancient, a relic of Earth, was all she had left of her family. It sparked a tiny flame when Europa's cold, made every breath ache, and its warmth always brought her comfort. Beneath the surface, Amara became a ghost quiet, clever, invisible. She watched the colony's higher levels from afar, the domes full of light, laughter, and families shielded from Europa's storms. She told herself she didn't envy them. But sometimes, in her hidden alcove overlooking the old reactor, she would light the flame and dream about being something more. On Europa, night never ended. The storm shutters rattled against methane winds. As another cycle closed, Amara listened to the city's news feeds. Security was tighter, patrols doubled, the main colony uneasy. For days, people whispered about missing engineers and strange shapes moving beneath the ice. Amara thought it was just another scare until the night the emergency channel crackled with a terrified voice. "This is Officer Rowe, requesting aid. Emergency Alien Incursion, Sector 7. The feed cut." Out. Alarms screamed through the underworld, echoing down every empty tunnel. Amara's instincts told her to run, hide. But as she crouched in her alcove, clutching her lighter, something deep inside refused to bow. The old stories returned, how humans made miracles out of nightmares. How her father said, "We light a match in the dark and 1,000 eyes will follow." With the city above locked down, Amara made her way upward, crawling through access shafts and forgotten maintenance grids. Her heart thundered, but the lighter's glow steadied her. She had to know if anyone was still alive. The invasion begins Europa's main colony was in chaos. Sirens wailed, storm doors slammed, and the AIS automated warnings blared from every speaker, unidentified lifeforms detected. Lockdown initiated. Amara moved through shadows, staying low, watching as terrified colonists scrambled for safety or barricaded themselves behind reinforced doors in the upper corridors. She saw the enemy for the first time, slick, black, forms from Europa's ocean depths, each taller than a grown man, eyes glowing red in the dim light. Their limbs ended in razor blades, and their movements were both alien and precise. They sliced down doors, cut power lines, and herded humans like prey. No one fought back. The security bots had been destroyed in minutes. Amara ducked behind. A storage unit as a group of survivors rushed past, a mother carrying a crying child, a wounded engineer, a priest mumbling prayers. The invaders ignored the weak, focusing instead on the core of the city, the main reactor. She saw Officer Rowe, a familiar face from Amara's few dealings with the law, trapped beneath a fallen bulkhead, blood on his forehead. His pulse rifle was inches away but out of reach. "Kid?" he gasped when he saw her. "Get out, you can't fight them." But Amara couldn't leave him. As the sounds of battle echoed closer, she grabbed the rifle, pushed debris aside, and tried to pull. "Row free, there's no time," he groaned. "They're going for the reactor. If they breach it..." The floor trembled with the enemy's advance. Amara's hands shook, but she forced herself to remember her father's voice. "Light a match. The rest we'll see." She clicked the lighter. The tiny flame sputtered, then grew. For a moment, the nearest alien froze, its red eyes drawn to the impossible fire. None of its kind had ever seen such a thing. Amara held the flame high, defiant. "They're afraid," she whispered. Of the light. Behind her, Rose com crackled. Reactor breach imminent. Evacuate all personnel. Panic twisted. Amara's insides. Hundreds of colonists, children, elders, people in hibernation were trapped in the lower domes. If the reactor blew, they would all die. Amara looked at her father's lighter, her legacy. In that instant, she made her choice. She slid the lighter into a fuel conduit and jammed it open, then ran for the control grid. The fire spreads. The main control grid was chaos alarms flashing, panels dead, comms filled with static and screams. Amara pushed through smoke and confusion, dragging Rao behind her. At the master console, she tapped into the manual overrides, using every trick she'd learned as a scavenger. From her father's old notes on the data slate, she found a way to reroute backup power straight into the lighter's tiny flame via. The fuel system, it was insane. It was desperate. But it was all she had. The colony's veins filled with fire. Suddenly, flames raced down the pipes and vents orange and gold. 1,000 tiny lights erupting in the darkness. Where fire touched, emergency lights flickered to life. Shadows scattered. The aliens recoiled, shrieking as their bodies built. For Europa's cold and dark could not bear the sudden, burning brilliance. Every corridor, every hidden tunnel was alive with light. The colonists, seeing fire in the darkness, found their courage. Some grabbed tools, others helped the wounded. A few even joined Amara in sabotaging alien equipment with sparks and flames. The aliens tried to regroup, slicing at fuel pipes and smashing power cells, but the fire was everywhere. It reflected in their eyes, confused and terrified. For the first time in her life, Amara was not alone. She heard survivors shouting to each other, working together, refusing to hide. "We can do this." Someone yelled, "Don't let them take." The city, Rao, weak but determined, used the cum system to rally survivors. "She's buying us time. If you're alive, help the fight use fire. Use anything. Just don't let them win." All over the colony, humans fought backlighting makeshift torches, building barricades and luring the aliens into burning traps. Humanity burns brighter as the fire spread. The aliens faltered. They retreated, falling back to the breached ice tunnels where they'd first entered. Some tried to sabotage the main reactor one last time, but Amara, Rao, and a ragtag group of survivors held the line, fighting back with every weapon, every scrap, every flame dot in the final stand. Amara faced the largest of the aliens, its arms. Like razors, its eyes burning with fury. She held the lighter in one hand, Rao's rifle in the other. Behind her, dozens of survivors, young and old, stood shoulder to shoulder. The alien charged. Amara clicked the lighter. Fire flared up the walls and across the floor, forcing the creature to slow, to shield its face from the impossible light. It lashed out, smashing pipes and sending scalding steam across the room. Amara dodged, crawling through debris, firing. Blindly as the monster advanced at the last second, Ro threw a fuel canister. Amara flicked her lighter one more time. The canister exploded in a burst of blue-white flame. The alien shrieked and collapsed, its armored skin curling in the heat dot as the last of the invaders retreated into Europa's ice. Amara felt her knees gasping, her hands blistered, her face streaked with tears and soot. But she was alive. Rao knelt beside her, his hand steady on her shoulder. "You did it, kid. You saved us all." In the quiet aftermath, survivors gathered in the central dome, firelight reflecting in every eye. The council offered Amara honors and reward. She refused. "I just lit a match," she said softly. You all remembered how to see. Europa's new dawn word spread quickly. The legend of the scavenger girl who burned the night passed from mouth to mouth, terminal to terminal, from Europa to Mars to distant Earth. Other colonies adopted her symbol, a flame in the darkness. When hope seemed gone on Europa, things changed. The council gave new respect to the forgotten and the poor. Scavengers, mechanics, and children now carried tiny lights on their belts, a tribute to Amara's courage. They said her name in the same breath as the city's founders. But Amara returned to her quiet life. She visited the lower domes, told children the stories her father once told her, and left her lighter now worn and blackened by the colony's main control grid. It became a monument inscribed with her name in a single phrase: "In the darkness, light a match and the whole world will see." Europa's storms raged on, but inside the domes, humanity burned brighter than ever. And somewhere in every corner of the galaxy where darkness crept, people remembered, it only takes one spark to change everything. End.